Good evening and thank you very much, Chair, and thanks for everyone for coming tonight. It's a pleasure to come down here. I apologise we're a little bit late. Robin was stopping to get crisps, so clearly you never got enough. I've been told that I can speak for about 20 minutes tonight, but I'm actually, if you'd allow me, just going to be a little bit more brief than that to give you the opportunity to ask a few more questions, because I think that's what's really important. This vote in September, for me and for many people in this country, is not what the media tells you, it's not what the No campaign tells you. It's not about Alex Salmond, it's not about the SNP, and it's not about nationalism. Now, there are some who are voting yes who are nationalists and who feel that way, and I perfectly respect that. But for me and for many of my colleagues, it's about different reasons. And I think Grogan here is an example of the vast array of different ideas and beliefs of what independence can bring for Scotland. For me, it's about two things. It's about democracy, and it's about the kind of society we live in today and the kind of society we can have in this country. First of all, democratically. I want to make this point because I think it's really, really important. In the last general election, the party that we voted for fourth and the party that we voted for third are the government that is leading Westminster. They are the government in Westminster. That means that they have their say in Scotland on tax, on social security, on the economy, international relations, foreign aid and defence. Third and fourth. Scotland's a very rich country and has a lot of resources, including oil. I wonder if Scotland had have been in the Middle East, and with so much oil as we have, and maybe if we were run by the fourth voted party and the third voted party in our country, then we might be facing, at worst, sanctions, at best sanctions, and at worst, invasion from America and the United Kingdom fighting for our democracy. But it doesn't happen here because Scotland not getting their say, Scotland not being allowed to have the governments in Westminster that they vote for, is not important because it fits into the American and United Kingdom bubble. The second reason I want to mention is the society, and the society we can have. But before we look at the society we can have, we have to look at the society we live in today. The Sunday Times, a couple of weeks ago, released their rich list, as they do every year. And they found out that rich people are getting richer. I don't think that was any surprise. They found out that there are now over 100 billionaires in the United Kingdom. So why is it then that a couple of months ago we were moved up from the fourth most unequal society to the third most unequal society in the Western world? Bankers are being paid exorbitant amounts of bonuses after providing nothing but losses. Yet 1 in 4 Scottish children are living in poverty, with another 100,000 likely to go into that poverty region in the next 5 years. MPs were recently given an 11.5% pay rise. Good for them. Unfortunately, for the rest of us, that is not reflected in either the public or private services. As Ed Miliband is very keen to say, the cost of living is rising, and yet pay is staying the same. Food banks are prevalent all over this country. The Red Cross had to ship in food parcels to Scotland in peacetime. This is from a country that would be, if it was independent, the 14th richest country in the world, and that is a disgrace. Parents are having to go without food to feed their kids. Pensioners are having to decide whether to heat their meals or whether to put the heating on. This is the reality we are living in Scotland today. And if it's not happening to you, it's probably happening to a member of your family or a member of your friends' circle, because it is happening all over Scotland. But don't worry, because we still have enough money to fund another £100 billion to replace an outdated nuclear arsenal that has no place in a civilised modern society. There is a decline in Scotland and the UK. And it's not just a recent thing, it's not since Cameron came along, it's happened ever since Thatcher came in and took the heart out of our communities. They took the jobs and they took the soul out of the places that we live in. Independence is the most important reason for me, is that it gives us an opportunity for change. An opportunity to make a real difference. Now, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a panacea. It's not going to be a paradise from day one. We're not going to win the World Cup. We're not going to get 40-degree weather. But what we do have is the opportunity to have a government that looks after its people and recognise the needs, wants and aspirations of these people, because they are these people. Now, some of my Labour colleagues will argue that if we vote yes, we are abandoning our friends and brothers and sisters in Northern England to a lifetime of the Tories. Well, first of all, let me just address that. It's not true. I think only once in the last 50 years has the Scottish vote changed what the Westminster vote would actually be. But my solidarity to my friends and brothers and sisters in Northern England doesn't end because we're independent. It doesn't end at Dover right now to my friends and brothers and sisters in other countries around the world. So why should it end at the borders of Scotland when we become independent? They are going to argue that we are fighting and campaigning for a British road to social justice. But never in our lifetime, certainly my lifetime, has that been so far away from being possible. So far away from that society that we all crave to be achieved. They say that if you get we don't need independence, all we need is a Labour government in 2015 to put things right, to fix the Tory mess. Well, what kind of Labour government are we going to have? We're going to have a Minister of Work and Pensions who says that they shall cut harder and faster than the Tories did on social security. We'll have a Defence Minister who's pledged his support to maintaining Trident in Scotland. We'll have a Prime Minister, Ed Miliband, who says makes no sense for the Labour Party not to be the party of the middle class. And worst and most scarily of all, we will have a Chancellor who is going to stick by the coalition government's austerity cuts. But we've only seen 10 pence. We've still to see 90 pence, and every pound of these cuts are still to be hit, and still to be hit in every community and town and city, not just in Scotland, but in the whole of the UK. Because that's the reality of the situation in Westminster. Labour are chasing the tail of the Tories, who are chasing the tail of UKIP into a never-ending spiral of darkness. We're moving further and further away from what people in Scotland actually care about, what they actually want to see happening in their country. Independence gives us that opportunity. It gives us the opportunity for people like myself, who's been a lifelong supporter and a member for X amount of years of the Labour Party. I don't want to reveal my age. I'm younger than I look, I'll just say that.
So am I.
We can have a restoration of a real Scottish Labour Party, back to its founding principles and beliefs, a return of Clause 4, but with a modern outlook, an innovative outlook to regenerate and rejuvenate Scotland, to create a living wage for all people, not just the £7 odd Westminster are saying, but an actual living wage of £10 an hour, so that people who work will never have to rely on social security to top up their earnings. We want a Labour Party that will deal and tackle with corporations that don't pay their taxes, that employ people on minimum wage at 0-hour contracts. Instead, what we've got right now is the Labour Party putting caps on social security. We know who the people at fault for the economic crisis are, and it certainly isn't those people who are claiming benefits. We want to see real equality in pay and standards, a fair and equal society for everyone, no matter of your gender, race or creed. To regenerate energy and transport, and to regenerate and renationalise the Royal Mail. To remove Trident, to become the party of the people of Scotland once again. These are tough choices. These are tough decisions that we'll have to make as a country. But I feel more secure and more safe knowing that it's going to be the people of Scotland and the people who are elected by the people of Scotland that are going to decide, not 12 posh boys from the Burlington Club. Things are going to be tough. And these decisions will be tough that we have to make. But we have a real opportunity for change, a real chance in Scotland, a real chance in the Labour Party, a real chance to have the society that we want. Thank you.